Show me colors. Ooh.
Greetings, waste not warriors.
I'm Mandy Wildman, and today I'm going to show you how to make a fabulous pair of baggy pants from an easy pattern that I modified to my liking.
I just love that crushy paper bag waistline. Let's get into it. So you're going to need an old sheet, a tape measure, some scissors, of course, a sewing machine and thread, and something to mark your fabric with, a pencil or a washable marker. Now, you don't have to use a sheet to make these pants. I mean, you could use a big old tablecloth or some leftover fabric from another project, or even a set of curtains. If you love the fabric, it's fair game for this project. You just have to have enough fabric to make the pants, but even if you don't, you can always piece the project together with other leftover scraps. I mean, how cool is that? I chose this fabulous blue and cream sheet for this project. Those vertical stripes just sang my name. I traced the original pattern onto tracing paper using the guideline for size 22. I'm not a size 22, but when it comes to making my pants as baggy as possible, all bets are off. I added about 2.5 inches of extra space at the top of the pattern at the waist because I wanted it to be very high-waisted with a big waistband. Now, I considered myself to be very lucky when I discovered that the top edge of the sheet was exactly the right amount of fold over as I wanted my waistband to be. Yay! An opportunity to be lazy! But this did throw off the pattern a little bit, and I had to do a bit of tweaking to make it all work. I'll show you. After cutting out the 2 front and 2 back pieces, I sewed together the curved crotch seams, and then I sewed the sides together, being careful to make sure that the waistband lined up perfectly. But by the time I was done stitching the inseams, I saw there was a problem. The bottom of the pants just didn't line up. I had to trim off the excess fabric, and then I used those scrap pieces as templates to trim up the pattern. That fixed the hem alignment problem for the next pair of pants I make, but it left these pants a bit shorter than I wanted them. No worries though, because that's exactly what giant ruffles are for, at least in my world. I found a scrap of cute bright green gingham and cut 2 strips. Then I found some other scraps of old green lace and I cut 2 strips from that. The strips each need to be at least 1.5 to 2 times the circumference of the pant leg, because that makes a nice ruffle. I sewed the green lace strips onto each of the gingham strips. Then I divided each strip into 4 equal parts and marked them. Next, I put my machine onto the widest stitch and did a running stitch along the top edge. This allowed me to gather the ruffles evenly and fit them to each leg. I readjusted my stitch width and stitched the ruffles onto my pants, which made them the length I wanted. Woohoo! Next, I moved on to the waistband. The edge of the sheet in this case was a nice wide 4-inch fold over with a 1/2-inch seam allowance. To create the paper bag effect, I sewed a straight line 2 inches down from the top all the way around, reducing the lower channel to about 2 inches wide. I hemmed the front opening of the waistband. I always use a safety pin to mark the front of pants and skirts when I'm sewing, because it's just handy. I measured my waist, yeah, that's my waist, and cut some 1-inch wide elastic to that length, minus about 1 inch. Then I threaded it through the channel with a big safety pin. I overlapped the ends by about 1 inch and zigzagged them firmly together. I like to also have a tie waist, and for this I used 1/2-inch wide cotton twill tape because it's good and strong and it looks kind of cool. Now, no garment is complete without giant pockets, obviously. So I snagged some more of the 2 fabrics and I cut out some ridiculously big pockets. I marked where I wanted them to be, and then to avoid a lot of trouble, I opened up the side seams a little bit to help me get the pockets on straight. The stripes are very helpful in this case. And we're done. I styled it with a funky tunic pinafore I'd made previously with that same green lace fabric and a $2 purse I got at the thrift store. I really loved this weird outfit, and I had so much fun hanging out with you today. What should we make together next? Let me know in the comments below. Bye for now.
Colors. Ooh.